Nikki Rich of the Nikki Rich Show. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Hi, Nikki. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, so honored to talk with you. I want to say you are so amazing. I got a chance to see Midday Black, Midday Blue. Amazing, amazing. I went through so many emotions just watching this. I mean, you did an awesome job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes. What did it mean to you to be a part of this film?
Oh, wow. So much. That's such a wonderful way to put it. You know, on many levels, it meant many different things, or it means many different things, from the very seed of the idea to create something with two of my dear friends and collaborators who I've worked with for years. But for all of us to go from making theater together to making movies together for the first time meant we were all kind of jumping off a cliff together, and jumping off a cliff that we individually kind of wanted to jump off of together for a while, but we're maybe not scared, but we're like, now's not the right opportunity, or now's not the right project, or now's not the right time. So that meant a lot in that moment. And then once we had the actual project to work on and kind of do it together then for the first time, and see our way through it, there was a sense of pride and connection and creation that meant a lot when we finished filming it. And then I can say that to actually see even just a part of the movie completed in a post-production room somewhere with those two was a really huge moment to know, to see like, oh, that actually did happen.
Yeah.
And then it's been made into something even more real. And then to see it on the big screen at the Seattle Film Festival and then subsequent film festivals, it's all, every time I see the film and every time we have a meeting together and every time we see one another, even personally, it just, like, the significance of the creation continues to evolve. And then every time we show it to people, and big-hearted and generous people like yourself, Nikki, who then have the reaction to it, we get to experience something else, which is the way that our work together reaches other people, which I think is that's the transcendent power of art, and something that you sometimes lose sight of when you're making it, because you think, oh, we're just doing this thing together, and I well, let's edit this part together, and let's do another take, and let's try to get this. And then when somebody like you sees it and says, I had this experience watching it, you think, oh, that's why we did it.
Yeah.
So
this film takes you on a journey.
yeah.
I feel like I was with you when you was driving. I felt like I was there.
Oh, good. Yeah, everything from sometimes Ian sometimes is driving, and sometimes he's being driven, but always moving. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the film and of the character, is that there's always motion, and there is a struggle, and there is something that you're struggling against and struggling with, which, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing with our lives. And some days are easier than others, but I think that's the real, that's the level of recognition that people have, is that it's, putting one foot in front of the other, and some moments are harder than others, but there's always the desire to move forward. So
yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you what was your favorite, and you just told us.
Good.
What was your favorite scene?
Yeah, I think I think kind of objectively from this side of it, that's my favorite thing, looking at it, and the thing that touches me about each of these characters. And, just speaking about Merritt's character offhand, I mean, to recognize, as somebody who played Ian, to recognize her as somebody who played Beth, having her own struggles, it's really touching to me. Not just her performance, but her character. Like that, what that woman is going through is really moving to me. And to realize that here are these two people who are so close in so many ways, but removed from one another, who then kind of come together and share at least a moment, is really touching to me. So
what would you say would be what was your biggest challenge, when filming this?
I think the biggest challenge was trusting myself not to push or manufacture, I think, any kind of experience. Trusting that I had the experience of the character in me, and not that I had to conjure something, or that I didn't have to manufacture anything. And I think that great challenge was made exponentially easier by the fact that I trust Sam and Daniel implicitly. So when I know that they're watching something, then it makes me feel freer to try things, or I just know that if I'm not getting something, that Sam and or Daniel will both be like, yeah, it's not quite working.
Yeah.
So my greatest struggle, thankfully, had two pairs of eyes on it, who I trusted to kind of catch me if I wasn't quite making it.
Well, that is awesome.
Thanks.
Well, I'm just so excited for you all. You all did an amazing job. And like I said, June 12th, everybody go watch in theaters.
Yes, thank you. I think June 12th will be in theaters in Los Angeles, but then, June 16th will be on the streaming platform. So if you can't make it to a theater in LA, then a theater in your home for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate you having me. It was great talking to you.
Great talking to you.
Thanks.